Hi everybody, how you doing? I see some of you leaving. I am taking your names, including you in the other rooms, because I know this is in other rooms. Can we have the slides up? Oh, okay. I'd like to take you back to January the 9th, 2022. I'm at Walt Disney World in Florida, one of my favorite places, but this is as close as I'm getting to the castle, because it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm surrounded by 20,000 fit and healthy people. I'm about to do the marathon. I'm in pain because because yesterday I did a half marathon. The day before that I did 10K, and the day before that I did a 5K. I'm tired because it's 3 o'clock in the morning. To get to the start line at 3 o'clock, I had to get up at 1 o'clock. Got to get my stuff on. To get up at 1 o'clock, I had to go to bed at 7 p.m. at Disney World, where people are still on rides, and fireworks haven't happened, and I'm having fun. People are having fun. I'm warm, because at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's 22 degrees, and before this marathon finishes, it's going to hit 33 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in fake numbers, don't ask. We're going to come back to that. And I'm terrified, because I've never done a marathon before. And also, I've not actually trained for this for almost a year. But let's start at the beginning. The Disney World Marathon opens its registration in April. Now, April 2021 was a different time. There was no international flights. We were still wearing masks. And the idea of a group of people together was farcical. So when registration opened, we sort of registered as a bit of a joke, me and a friend. We tried. What a shame, because you know what? No way this is going to happen, right? We really tried. And I did start to do some training, right? I did some running, I did some swimming, I did everything like that. And it was going really, really, really well until I took my daughter ice skating. And then 8.5 hours in A&E later, I'd broken my shoulder. But don't worry, because it's still not happening. And then a few months later, Disney World got rid of the mask mandate. And I started to get a little bit worried. I'm not going to lie, but still in the back of my mind, I'm like, it's fine, because it's not happening. You can't even fly to Disney World at the moment. It's just... And then that happened. And I was still in denial that, you know what, this is not going to, any day now, they're going to cancel it. They're going to come to their senses. And on Christmas Day, I'm having Christmas dinner, and my mother-in-law looks at me and she goes, "Oh, you're flying out to Disney next week for that race, aren't you?" And then it hit me. Oh, shit. This is happening. Have you ever started a race knowing that you're going to be one of the last to finish? Have you realized that a chatbot knows more about programming than you? Have you ever followed a keynote where you've had to Google most of the words that he's speaking about? What the hell's a JEP, right? Am I the only one that didn't know what a JEP was? I'm guessing so. I'm going to talk a little bit about imposter syndrome. But before we do that, I want to get this out of the way. If you search for imposter on Google Images, this comes up, right? I'm 37 years old. I've never played Among Us. Right? I'm not going to pander to an audience like this. So I'm going to pander in another way, because one of the themes is AI. So we're going to generate our slides using AI. I'm forcing them. So imposter syndrome, you've seen it. It's this idea that everybody around you knows more than you. Everybody, you don't believe that you deserve to be there, that you should be there, that you're a bit of a fraud. And I'm going to tell you that in 99% of the circumstances, this is just confidence. You believe in yourself, don't be afraid and do it. But sometimes you are, right? There's no getting around it. Sometimes you're a little bit of an imposter. But I'm a constant imposter, right? I'm an imposter in so many avenues, and I want to tell you that it's not a bad thing. We all start off as an imposter when we do something. You've just heard about Java 21, all the new features, right? You're going to be an imposter when you look at that because you don't know how to use it. They're going to be talking to people here over lunch, and they're going to be talking about technologies and tech stacks that you don't know. And that's fine. But we all start off being imposters. But it's not just when you become an imposter. Sometimes you reach a level and you think, do you know what? I've learned enough. That's all I need to learn about this. I can get by. I don't need to go from that. I mean, even you can't be an expert in everything. That's 4, 5, 6 people left. That's more than Devox London. All right? I was so proud of this slide when I got Midjourney to generate that, right? Thank you. That got more claps than the physics, so we want that, so we're all right. Even quiz show champions, these are the chasers in the UK, the quiz show champions have gaps in their knowledge. And that's fine, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about where I'm an imposter. So this is rugby league, one of my favorite sports. I'm a season ticket holder, I go to a lot of games. This is me and my granddad. We go to Wembley every year, whether our team's playing or not, like 11 years in a row now. This is Harry Newman. He plays for Leeds Rhinos. Can I tell you where he played as a child? No. Can I tell you how many tries he scored? No. Can I tell you whether he was a better scrum half or left back? No. Can I tell you what those two are? No. Can I shout his name and cheer him on? Yeah. Can I pick him out of a crowd? Yeah. And if I can't, he's got his name on the back of the shirt, so I can just read it. It's fine. I'm an imposter when it comes to rugby league, but that hasn't stopped me from joining a community of rugby league people, to being interviewed on podcasts and being interviewed on local radio about rugby league. And, there's this thing where, what if I look stupid doing these things? I'm there on local radio, literally tens of people listening. What if I ask me a question that I'm confused about? And there's 3 words that I always say to people, and they're really difficult to say, but they're quite powerful. And it's, I don't know. I don't know. Because when you get rid of the bullshit, when you don't deflect with a joke, when you're just honest and say, do you know what? I've not got a clue what you just said. All right? When I leave this room, I'm going to be doing some Googling. You give the opportunity for the people around you to get excited. Because there's a lot of people in this group that it is their chosen thing. That's what they get excited about. That's what they want to learn everything. They don't want to be an imposter. And people get really excited to talk to you about what they like. I don't know if you've noticed this. So, if you're having trouble with something, just say, look, I don't know. And we do this in the pub quite often with rugby league. They'll talk about the history of a player. I've not got a clue who that is, what that is. And then they'll get all the sauce out and they'll start doing tactics. I've not got a clue. And I just smile and nod. But it makes them happy and it feels like they think I'm learning. Now, there are some people that, when they realize that you don't know, they believe there's a certain level that you have to know to get into a Discord, to join a conference like this. They're called gatekeepers, or I call them arseholes, because there's just nothing. Being vulnerable, you shouldn't be taking advantage of that. But they are the minority, because let me tell you that the world loves an imposter. And I've got some examples of this. This is Eddie the Eagle, one of my favorite examples. Many of you see, so this is what I mean. Now, Eddie's dream was to go to the Winter Olympics, and he tried every event that he could, and he failed dramatically. So he went home, he looked at the sports, he looked at the rule books, and he discovered England did not have an Olympic ski jumping team. So he created an Olympic ski jumping team, and he got into the Winter Olympics. Now, I would love to tell you this Hollywood story that he got to the Olympics, realized he was the world's best, and came home with several gold medals. But no, he was the absolute worst at Olympic ski jumping. He forced the Olympic Committee to implement a rule which gave minimum timings to each event because he was so slow. But you know what? The world fell in love with him because he didn't care what people thought. He had an idea, he had a passion, he had something he wanted to do, and he went for it. This one's a little bit controversial. This is Captain Tom, who's, during the COVID, he raised millions of pounds for the NHS. Now, he walked from one side of his garden to another, he had a big garden, right? But he was over 100, he was nearly 100 years old. Now, you look at Captain Tom, you look at me, and you don't think athletic ability. But together, we've raised millions of pounds for good causes. Now, being an imposter is not always a good thing. Sometimes you get into places without any ability or knowledge, right? Okay, back to running. I hate running. Thank you. I hate everything about it. I hate the expensive shoes. I hate getting up early. I hate the rain. I hate you've got to have pasta the night before, right? I think that translated quite well, actually. Do you know what I had the night before one of the half marathons? This is a share a cocktail, and that's my second because my friend couldn't finish it. But the thing I hate most about running is running. I don't get why people enjoy it. It just annoys me. So why do I do it? Why do I do so many races? And the main reason is I do it for a local hospice of ours. Martin House, we've worked with them for many, many, many years. And I firmly believe that if you're raising money for charity, you should not enjoy it. I have proof that pain equals pounds or euros. And I'm going to give you an example here. So if you come to me and you say, Dom, I'm doing a sponsored skydive. I'm like, that's great. Which charity? And have you ever wanted to do it? And if you go, yeah, it's been my life's dream. I can't wait. It's all I've wanted to do. I'm going to sponsor you. But not a lot. Because do you know what? What you're doing is you're using the charity as an excuse to, fulfill an ambition of yours, to fulfill a dream. If you say to me, the idea of stepping on that plane makes me want to be physically sick with every step, I'm going to give you more because you're an imposter. You are doing something which you don't want to do, you're not comfortable doing, and you're not designed to do. And you're putting the cause or the charity above that. So that's where running comes in. In my life, I try and create joy. And with this, I use Midjourney to merge these two photos. Okay? Now, what I said was, so this came out, but this was not the first version. This was 20 or 30. The first version was absolutely horrific. And when I did this at DevOps London, I made the audience promise that they wouldn't share it on social media. Do you know who didn't? These guys over here, the photographers, right? Not only did they not, keep it private, they made it the bloody YouTube thumbnail, right? I'm going to share a very personal photo with you right now, right? And I want Scout's promise you're not going to share it on social media. So when you give the AI a photo of you and say, what do you think I look like? Put that phone down. Yeah. This is it. This is what the AI thought I looked like. There is nothing more humbling than saying to a computer, what do you think? And then going, whoa, at the results. Thanks. So we'll stick to this one. I love to create joy. And when we work with Martin House, the joy that they create for the families and the children and their brothers and sisters is absolutely amazing. But what about everybody else? What can I do? What about when you're doing a run? The people on the side who are clapping for hours, the people at home who've donated. How can we bring joy to them? Your fellow runners, some of whom it's their first race, some of whom it's the last race. The way that I do it is stupid costumes. Because my mantra with running is, if you can't be fast, then be funny. So I've done races all around the world, and every single one of them has been in a stupid costume. Sometimes I have been the only person in a costume. I did the Weatherby 10K, which is a really serious race. And after about 2K, I was like, I'm going to go for a little walk now. And I had people stopping, seeing if I needed medical attention. I was like, I'm dressed as a parrot, mate. I'm fine. Don't worry about it. During the lockdown, I had a treadmill, and I did 25 half marathons. Every 2 weeks, we live streamed it on Twitch. Two very confused Americans who are having their dinner watching this big guy sweating, going, oh my God, dressed as Tinkerbell. And It's not just me, though. I've managed to get my family involved, so my daughter, my wife, friends, and things like that. You'll see Grandad over there. We did the Leeds 10K together as Mario and Luigi. 10,000 people along the way going, "Go on, Mario, you can do it." Mario's not doing it. Mario sat there holding a bucket. Oh, nobody shouted, "Go on, Luigi." I can see how he feels. I'm an imposter when it comes to running. You won't find me on Strava. You won't find me in the local park run because they said I can't wear costumes. But that hasn't stopped me from doing races all around the world, from over 50 half marathons, from creating my own run where it doesn't matter if you do 1 lap or 50 laps, everybody gets a medal, everybody's celebrated. The medal's got my face on it, obviously. And with this and other things, we've raised over 56,000 now for the local hospice. And we're going to keep on... No, we don't have time for clapping. You spent that time trying to take a picture, so you spoiled it. My aim is 100,000. So what else am I an imposter with? Oh, God, I've only got 4 minutes. Go quicker. I'm sure you've seen these videos of lights and everything like that on houses, and I fell in love with them. This is what I wanted to do. And the issue is I have no electrical knowledge. I have no musical ability, but I do have a very forgiving wife. So I spent a year researching this, putting things together, going on forums, buying stuff, ordering stuff from China, and this was the aim, and this is what I had. And yes, you laugh because it wasn't quite that. I was an imposter when it came to lights, but I didn't want to be. This was one where actually I was like, do you know what, I'm not comfortable with this. So I put more time in it, more effort, and I started helping with events and things like that. And we are now 4 years later, and we have, we're about 40,000 lights at our house. We had 4,500 people at Halloween, and it's all free, and we all raise money for the charity. I still have very little electrical knowledge, still no musical ability, and a less forgiving wife now. Going to quickly talk about conferences. This was me speaking in 2002 at a conference in London, and I just thought they were quite boring. Not like this. Like this is an amazing venue, an amazing experience. They were just very dry, very droll, and I thought I can do it myself. So I organised my own conference, and I did such a bad job at it because, we sold out. I priced it too quickly. We sold out in a few hours. I had to get friends and family to come and help with food because I didn't have the budget for it. This was the only photo of the day that we took. I was an imposter when it comes to conferences, but imposters, they don't know what they don't know. So all these boundaries that these other conferences had, we just ignored. We were like, let's just try it. And within a few years, we had one of the best rated conferences in digital marketing. If someone said, I want to do a talk dressed up as a Wookiee, I'm like, bring it on. We had a halftime game show, right, where I dressed up in a gold sequin suit. And I know what you're thinking. Hey, Dom, I've seen that suit somewhere first. And let me tell you, I wore that many, many years ago. We were in a casino, and we had a bouncy castle for over 18s. It was amazing. We also had sweets. So after the break, we gave everybody sweets, and each speaker had their own sweets. You can see it there. But rather than rent it, I decided, let's just buy it. It'll just be easier. But that meant I had all these sweet boxes here for a couple of years, only being used a few days a year. So I started an online sweet shop. I've never started an online sweet shop before in my life, but I was an imposter with that. I didn't know anything, pricing, delivery, anything. I've only got 1 minute, so we're going to skip. Someone said to me the other day, she said to my wife, that being married to Dom is like being married to a carnival. And she said that's the most apt thing. Much like, is it Catherine, your wife? Christine. I am nothing without my wife. She puts up with a lot of shit, right? This was her filming a video that I said would be really, really funny. But one day she was like, right, that's it. No more, not doing anything else. So she booked us a holiday. She booked us a cruise across the Atlantic Ocean where Wi-Fi was something like £15 a meg. What she forgot to take into account was we took my 1-year-old daughter, who went to bed at 6 o'clock. Now, what does a newly married man with his wife do while his daughter's asleep? That's right, we built a HTML parser, and we launched a startup called Little Warden. But Little Warden is an imposter itself. We are against companies that have raised so much money, and I have so little money. That's Little Warden. Monitors the tedious shit about websites. That's the little plug. But there we go. One laugh. Still more than the physics stuff, though, so we're all right. But we speak to startups all around, and everybody's going through this imposter thing that they think that everybody's bigger than us. And Little Warden's having some troubles at the moment, but it's fine, because if that doesn't work, then I've got a notebook of other ideas. I always carry a notebook around. I always try and build whatever I want to do. And am I all right to have 2 minutes? Is that okay? Yeah, I'm giving you a few minutes to read that. A few months ago, for the Christmas lights, I bought a laser cutter. And this is my daughter. It's the most exciting thing in the world. She gets up, she's got her own laser cutter. She's like, can we play, Daddy? Can we set stuff on fire? So she's definitely my kid. And after we'd done some serious things and done some presents and gifts for people, I was like, right, I'm going to want a bigger laser cutter at some point. So I need to at least justify this with my wife. So I looked at these name jigsaws. You get these at Seasides in the UK. I'm sure you've all seen them. Jigsaws with them. But I was like, how can I put my own spin on that? So I did them with swear words. And we created something called Swear Saw. And these are gifts that we give out to other people. And we just thought, do you know what? Let's just see if they work. And this one's a little bit awkward, but... And we literally just had no idea if it would work, if people would like it or whatever. But, you know, people did buy them. And so I've not got fuck you money yet, but, you know, we're doing all right with them. So I just want to leave it with, I'm not a smart man. You can see here that I've got quite bad dyslexia and bad with numbers. So I got really excited that my car spelled boobs. And once I took the photo, I realized I got a few of the letters mixed up. I'm not inherently fit when it comes to this sort of stuff. You'll notice that I didn't get offered the hoverboard to come on stage. I'm not an influencer. This is an email that LinkedIn sends to me every fucking week. Doesn't matter how many people visit my LinkedIn profile. One person. And I'm not special. There's nothing inherently special about what I do or anything I do. I believe that anybody can do it in this room or one of the other 40 rooms in this place. I'm an imposter. But imposters can do some really, really cool stuff. So let's just embrace it and then ignore that ever happened. Thank you very much. I'm Dom Hodgson.